Drunk News. I'm Sparky Mead. I'm here with Woody Austin and Dickie Mead. First off, we're going to get right into it today. Earlier this week, President Obama and his Secretary of State Hillary Clinton were down in Colombia for a little meeting. And afterwards, we're all business people. Afterwards, we like to get a little drink on. We drink while we're doing business. They wait till they're done. So, Hillary went to a bar after she was done, took a couple of her aides, took a few Secret Service people with her. They got a little drunk. They only had a few beers, but hey, they don't drink as often as us. They're lightweights.
What were they drinking?
What was said that they got a dozen of beer, 2 glasses of whiskey. I don't know how big that glass was.
We also
That was
had
2 glasses of
big,
whiskey.
full of whiskey.
If it was a pint glass of whiskey, props to Hillary. But if she learned anything from Will, she knows how to swallow it. Also, they had a few shots here and there. The issue that the media seemed to have was that the next day, and when she was seen leaving, Hillary was extremely intoxicating in appearance. Now, she doesn't drink too often.
Intoxicating in appearance?
Intoxicated in appearance. Not intoxicating, because she's not the best looking lady.
She's always intoxicating in appearance.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bring up Hillary Clinton's appearance ever.
I try not to.
Not a good looking lady.
Not good for viewers, I'm sure. But, the media outcry, little ridiculous. That's how we feel here. But hey, that's just our opinion. Actually, we've got some breaking news coming in from the producer right now.
When we get a producer.
You're a fag. That's creative. That's creative. Well, since I'm a fag, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to Dickie Mead over here. He's got a little drunk news for you.
Alright.
Dickie?
I am Dickie Mead with the drunk and crazy news. Mel Gibson is at it again. Had another crazy rant while hosting dinner at his house. I guess a picture of him and his daughter set off the rant. Apparently he looks very old in the picture, and he was upset about his ex-wife stealing his youth. Somehow that set off another anti-Semitic rant, including yelling at his guests for not eating dinner, and also screaming, "Hooray!" very loud. Anyway, on to the next point. In Albany, New York, a woman who happens to be a stripper was arrested.
Stripper from Albany.
What's she do for a living?
In other news, the sky's blue.
That kind of stripper.
So, she was arrested after allowing her boyfriend to tattoo her 9-month-old baby. After a night of heavy drinking, of course.
That could be the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
In related news, Kim Kardashian wants to run for mayor of some city. Doesn't really matter which city, but she must be drunk.
Bingo. Is that what we have today, sir?
That's all I have
That's
for
all
you.
we have. Thank you, Dickie. I do appreciate that.
You got it, Sparky.
Pretty soon, we're going to move on to Nerd News with Mason Mansfield. Mason Mansfield with the Nerd News.
Thanks, Sparky.
No problem.
And now, for some news from Anonymous. Anonymous has launched a new program called Anonitune. Basically what this does is it's going to pull all songs from all the web and put it on one social media platform. Basically it's them stealing from a whole bunch of other sites, third-party sites, YouTube, MySpace, Yahoo, and basically you'll have your own setup of specific songs, and if your song, say the media industry goes, nope, we don't want this song played anymore, takes it off, Anonitune will locally find this song from any third-party site. In other news, geek news, the new trailer for Crysis 3 has come out.
Oh.
I'm extremely excited.
As am I.
Extremely excited. Crysis 3.
What is that?
The 3rd installment of the Crysis video game series.
Cover sports for a reason, son.
Crysis 3 is going to set back in New York 3, but however, in the preview trailer, it looks like they go back into a jungle.
Oh, if you'll excuse me for just one second.
Jungle
We have some more breaking news here coming in from the producer.
I see how it is.
Smooth yet robust.
I wouldn't know.
No,
No,
you
you
wouldn't.
Sparky? Same to you.
Well, at this point, I think we'd like to go to Misty Melvina with the weather. Thanks, Misty.
Real helpful.
Now we're going to go over here to Woody Austin for the sports news, which is always entertaining.
Thank you, Sparky. First of all, happy 420 to all the Woody Austin Twitter fans out there. Followed me. Moving on to sports. NFL draft coming up. I got my top 3 picks right here. Well, not my top 3, but, you know, the 3 guys I want to talk about the most. Andrew Luck. Bold move by the Colts. We'll see how that turns out for him, ditching Peyton Manning, who then goes to the Broncos and bumps Tim Tebow, who bumps Mark Sanchez eventually.
Absolutely.
In my book, but
I disagree.
we'll get the graphic up of my
In God's book.
eventual crossouts here. And let's see, RG3. If you don't know who that is, you're probably not watching this segment right now because if you don't like sports.
You.
He's going to the Redskins though, which will work out about, you know, like a younger Donovan McNabb with about half the effort. And then my number 5 here, but I'm going to put him at number 3. Trent Richardson, kid from Bama. First of all, no one likes Bama. But he's going to the Buccaneers, which I think he will accelerate both on the field and on the playing field. Buccaneers, running game.
Twice.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Rainier Wolfcastle would say.
Can I get a cut then?
That's the joke.
Moving on.
Yes, sir.
WNBA draft was a few days ago.
Actually, it was really good. A lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises, like some penises. That's the biggest surprise. I saw Joanna, man. I saw Joanna, man. You son of a bitch.
That was a great musical.
It's like Cats, Joanna Man, West Side Story.
But all jokes aside, let's get back to real sports.
What is basketball? It's a fucking joke.
UFC 145 coming up. We got John Bones Jones versus Rashad Evans.
A little black on black crime.
Rashad? That's okay. Rashad wouldn't be my first guess, but
Anyway, but like you said, continue. Sorry.
well, this is where the fight gets interesting. First of all, I'm going to ask the panel, without any former knowledge, to who do they think is going to win this fight. We're going to start with Mason.
The blue team.
Good answer, good answer. Sparky?
The blue team. They're both black. John Bones Jones, hands down.
I like your style. John Bones was quoted, and this is why I think he wins the fight. This is the most fearsome quote I've ever seen out of UFC. When John Bones Jones was asked what he's going to do to Rashad Evans in this fight, he quoted saying, "I have to win this fight. My money's on John Bones."
Fierce. Fierce. Grr.
He has to win this fight, Sparky. He said it himself.
So like,
Has to win this fight. No,
I've seen this movie before. They're like gangsters holding the daughter in the back.
that's Brokeback Mountain.
Oh,
They're holding something in the back.
It wasn't horses.
It might have been the size of horses.
They got a different kind of scalping in that movie. Marion Hossa. Talking about hockey. This is what's going on in hockey. Rafi Torres,
Scumbag.
nationality unknown. Rafi Torres
What
sounds foreign.
nationality is a
Sounds
scumbag?
foreign to me. I'm sure he was sweaty and smelly on the ice.
Sounds like he
Speak-
smells bad.
Not
Sounds
quite-
like he smells bad.
It just sounds like you don't want to get in the cab with him.
He'd probably be driving the cab.
Either way, he left his feet, and that's a no-no. Suspended indefinitely by the NHL. It has an upcoming hearing.
Dirty motherfucker.
But good news is, Marion Hossa knocked unconscious, taken to the hospital.
how is
said
that
it was
good?
Could you let the man finish? Gonna make a full recovery, no injury.
Oh, great news! Great news! Great news! Great news! Great news!
We're just back 3 games.
Great
That's
news.
awesome.
Great news.
NBC, anytime you wanna give me a call.
2 games? That's why I do tech.
Hey,
That's why I picked the blue team.
Bingo.
Blue team all day. Go Barracuda.
This has been another sports segment on High
I'm the red
News.
guy.
It is 420.
Well, that's all for sports here, Sparky. If you want real scores and highlights, you can just go online like the rest of the people.
That's what Google's for.
I'm just here to cover the main issues, the important things. And,
No one blames you for it.
I do.
no, we won't cover that. Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. One more news story that I have to talk about today. It seems that in Michigan City, Indiana, there was a gentleman who decided to rob a bank.
Wait, Michigan City, Indiana, I'm confused. You said 2 states.
As you should be. It's very close to the border between the two, which
Scary.
is also close to the
So
Illinois
Indiana
border.
City, Michigan?
Michigan City, Indiana, which is very close to the Illinois border, surprisingly. And I almost got that out entirely. Anyway,
That's what she said?
so David Ziesel, who was 32 years old, decided that he was going to rob a bank. And,
Smart man.
yeah, it's not the 20s anymore. You're not going to get away with robbing a bank. So this gentleman, he used that term loosely, he decided to rob a bank, and when he left Michigan City, which is right on 8094, which is where most of this chase took place, he was followed by Indiana State Troopers. The chase lasted for 110 miles, which ended up in Illinois. It got as high as 99 miles per hour. The gentleman ended up parking the car in a field and running to his house after he had been throwing money out the window. And while he was throwing money out the window on the highway, there were multiple people pulling over and stopping, trying to pick this money up, which, if it didn't cause accidents, it certainly caused traffic jams. But
It was a good day in
Media.
the Mansfield hostel, I'll
Shit.
tell you that.
there it is.
I'm not very impressed.
Huh.
Fun drive to work.
We know how he paid the bills this month.
We've all gone longer and faster. Well, at least this side of the
110
this
miles.
side of the desk.
Gave it to her like 50 times, right?
55.
That's about right. So, David Ziesel, you're going to jail. You
He
can't
gonna
rob
get
it. He gonna get it.
He gonna
He
get it.
gonna get it. He didn't do anything badass. He's gonna get
Why not?
raped like a motherfucker.
I ain't going back.
Now, we're gonna move on to Coconut Mayfield with random news. Coconut?
Well, like Sparky said, I'm Coconut Mayfield.
Interesting.
And coming out of the United Kingdom in recent news is a study from the University of Kent, which compared men's attractiveness to the colors of vaginas. Now,
I
as
prefer
a
mine.
quite an expert in that area myself, because I'm not sure, as you can see, women often confuse me for Zach Brown.
Who wants a mustache ride?
It leaves it quite easy for me on karaoke night, but as you can tell, they did this study conducting on the colors of vagina from pale pink, light pink, dark pink, and unfortunately, red. Now, their idea was that men like red. Red lips, red lingerie, but unfortunately, according to their study, not red vaginas.
Mostly because that means it's bleeding.
Well, if it's not bleeding, it's certainly diseased with something.
That's a good point.
Personally,
This
my
was
favorite
not
color.
something they thought of at first.
I like blue.
You've been
But
playing too much
according
Messi.
to the study, according to the study, they discovered that men prefer any type of pink, just not red. Now,
Make a pink one red.
my only
Science.
argument in this one, though, is clearly these are some white women. I don't know if you've seen this, but if you're not white, you're not pink.
That's racist.
It might sound slightly racist to you, but I'm a fan of all type of vaginas, be they straight or horizontal or different colored. Anyone knows that if you're curious about the color of a woman, just look at her nipples and that gives you a bit of a hint.
Always ask if the carpet matches the drapes. Women love
That's
that.
for hair color, not ethnicity, said Woody. But then again,
Still a good question.
from Mr. 420 over there, I don't expect him to know.
Coconut is our resident official on vagina.
Not just vagina, but any type of porn besides homosexual porn. Unfortunately, that does include interspecies erotica. Well, that's all from Random News today. Back to you, Sparky.
Thank you, Coconut. I do appreciate the news.
Oh, as we all do. And by news, I hope you mean vagina.
Who doesn't like a hot pink center?
Oh, hot, warm, or even still lukewarm. It's all good.
As long as there's a pulse.
Well, as long as it's still warm.
That's true. The man has a point. The man has a point.
Give him that.
Well, I believe that's all we have for Drunk News tonight. I'd like to thank you all for being here.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Oh, I lost the Reagan pin.
Alright,
Woo!
is this a
Sparky
scheduled?
B's not drunk enough.
Is this a scheduled timeout?